I love diagonal pentatonic scales. Thank you for joining me today. What you just saw there was a very, very quick riff of a diagonal pentatonic scale, which is a technique that I think is necessary for both beginners, intermediates, and you'll see advanced players use the same thing all the time. So today I'm going to be showing you that pattern, that scale pattern for the major diagonal pentatonic scale in two different root positions, a root on the E and a root on the A. So we're in standard tuning. Get your guitar out and join me. My name is Keith. Welcome back to the channel. Okay, so let's just go ahead and get straight to the subject here. We want to learn the major pentatonic scale, but in diagonal form. So let's just review real quick where that major pentatonic scale comes from, which is the major scale. I'll go ahead and throw up a diagram and run through that major scale one time real quick, starting on the 3rd fret of the low E string. That's a G. So we're going to be running a G major scale. The reason we need to learn this is because the pentatonic scale comes right out of that, and the diagonal pentatonic scale is the same exact scale as just the major pentatonic scale. It's just played a little differently. So let's look at that major scale one time real quick. And I have plenty of other videos describing the major scale. I'll go ahead and leave links to those up there. If you need to review that, go ahead and do that. If not, then just memorize it right here. So that is the G major scale right there. So if we wanted to take that and turn it to a G major pentatonic scale, we're dropping a couple notes here, and this is the scale pattern for that. Okay, so now that we have both of those scales in our back pocket and underneath our fingers, here is where the magic happens, right? So we have that G major pentatonic scale. We don't want to just be stuck in this box here because, quite frankly, this is already a kind of awkward positioning for your fingers to be able to, start right here and use your pinky and your index finger when you're fretting that. It's not really conducive to going up the guitar neck. You're stuck in that position. Nobody wants to be stuck, quote unquote, in the box. They hate that, right? Instead, you want to do something like this. How do we get there? That's with that diagonal pattern. So let's go over exactly that. I'm going to show you the pentatonic scale and the corresponding notes, and then I'll leave you a nice little trick to kind of help you memorize that diagonal pattern. It's way easier than you think, and I'll show you exactly. It's going to click in your head, I know it. All right, so here is that major pentatonic scale, just the first 5 notes. If we wanted to transfer that, all we have to do is put up a box and do this. That's the first one, and here's a diagonal. And if I wanted to add the root, that's the box, and here's a diagonal. All right, so how do we memorize that? Here is the rule of thumb that I like to keep. If you're starting on the root note, it doesn't matter if it's the E string or the A string, the key here is 3, 2, 3. What do I mean by that? If you start right here on that 3rd fret of the G string, that's our root, we're going to go 3 full steps first, and then 2 steps on the next string, then 3 on the next string. Let me illustrate that. We'll start right here on the 3rd fret of that G string, and we're going to go 3 different steps. 1, 2, 3, and then 2 on the next string, and then 3 on the next string, and then 2, and then 3, get what I did there? So basically 3, 2, 3. Root note is right here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 3, 1, 2. Back to the octave. So that is the trick that I wanted to show you. 3, 2, 3, that is the major scale, major pentatonic scale. Easiest way to memorize it. And the same trick works just for the root being on the A string. So let's do that right now. So this is going to be a C, because our root is right here. That's a C. So if we start there, we're going to do the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. That's our octave. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, octave. Same exact thing works for both scale patterns. Now, the one thing before I leave you here is when you do go from the G string to the B and the E string, the high B and the E string, it does get a little bit tricky because of the nature of the way the guitar is tuned. For example, you're tuning your guitar on the 5th fret, right? But then when you get down to the B string, you want to tune that, you have to drop down to the 4th fret of the G string to get that B, right? It won't work if we do it on the 5th fret. So that is why we have to drop back a fret when we get to the high B and the high E strings. Let me show you real quick. Now instead of going back here, we start it here because of the nature of the way that's tuned. That's the only difference that you kind of have to be cognizant about whenever you're running through these pentatonic scales. That brings us back full circle to that little intro that I did here. Let's get a little twangier. And that is it. I think it's really key and crucial to understand these diagonal pentatonic scales because it makes moving up the fretboard so much fun and a lot easier than just being stuck in that stupid box. I hope that was helpful, and if it was, please like and subscribe to the channel if you already haven't, and with that, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. That was decent.